Tonight, I want us to focus on the lab. So we are focusing on the lab. So I will just run over the module slides. So, but our focus will be on the lab. So I want us to do lab for module 5 together. So it's going to be interactive. So please, if there is noise, okay, David said he's in module 2. Okay. All right. So if there is background noise where you are, please don't unmute your mic. So because for those labs, we will. So please get ready to open your labs. So put up your module now, go to module 5. We are going to do the labs together. Give me a thumbs up if you understand me. Okay, Instructor Moniz does. Who else understands me? I said you should go to your module, go to your card, go to your course, and open to module 5. We are treating module 5 tonight. So, but I want us to focus on the labs. We have 3 labs in that module. So we will not be doing too much story. So this evening, we'll focus on the labs. We are all doing the labs together. Is it clear now? We are doing the labs together. So those labs, I will be calling their numbers. So we have 3 labs there. We will do the labs together. Good. Nira said he understood me, so he giving me thumbs up. So who else does? Who else understands? Cyber Chief, Temidayo, Margaret. You guys didn't understand me. Okay, Pipta said yes. Kikelamo said yes. Okay, good Margaret, evening, you do. Good evening, Cyber Chief. How are you?
I'm fine, ma. I'm done with that module 5. I'm at module 6 now. I've done that lab.
You are done with module 5? Very yes, good. Who else is done with module 5? I like that energy. Who else? Module 5. It's okay. So we are going to do the labs together. We have 3 labs there. Paul, you are done too. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, these people are ready. Did you see my post about Learn-A-Thorn? NetAcad won't finish us. NetAcad said by force, you people must learn. Yes, oh, he's Cyber Chief. Oh. He's our chief. Chief what? What's your first name?
Christian, sir. I'll be Christian, man.
Christian. Chief Christian. Okay. Yes. Oh. 64. Oh, amazing. I love that. I love that. That's impressive. Well done. So this evening, I want us to pick module 5 and do module 5 together. So because it's like some are still having challenges when it comes to doing the labs. So they will study, they will jump the lab. And please, I want to tell you, cybersecurity is not like that too. Cybersecurity is an industry of do. Yes, we say stories, but we are not tale tellers. We are not just there to tell stories. So our stories are backed up by action. So those 3 labs, explains or give you the practicality of what the module is talking about. In fact, if you do those labs and you do them correctly, if you don't read any other thing in that module, you will be fine. So, and that's why at this point, I will just run over the module of the labs. Let me share my screen. I'm sharing already. I don't know, my screen don't run. It's okay. The thing is not happening. Let me reshare. Can you share? Can you see my screen? Cyber Chief, can you see my screen? Did I hear yes, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks for that confirmation. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to today's class. We are treating Module 5, Risk Management and Security Control. Risk Management and Security Control. You will remember in Module 1, you treated compliance, you treated policy and compliance. And you know, in this industry, there is that aspect of the industry that we call GRC. That's governance. Oh, I said policy. You treat governance and compliance in Module 1. And here in Module 5, we are talking about risk. So you see, you have the combination of GRC, the governance, risk, and compliance. So the focus of this Module 5 is, we want to select security control based on risk assessment outcome. Every endeavor of man involves risk. One of my friends says it's risky not to take risk. So you must take risk. So in this topic, we will be looking at risk management, risk assessment, and security control. And you'll be doing a little bit of calculation too. So risk is the probability of loss due to a threat, whether it is malicious or not. So the fact that there might be a challenge, there might be a problem, it is called risk, that probability. And please don't get it wrong. It's not saying it will happen, but there is that possibility. So you don't sweep that possibility under the carpet. In cybersecurity, we handle it and we call it risk. So when you are talking about risk impacts, it's talking about that damage that occurs as a result of the impact of the risk. So, I mean, when you're talking about risk impacts, we are talking about the damage that occurs as a result of that thing, happening. Take, for instance, risk is, oh, it's possible there might be a flooding this year. That is a risk. So that flooding is a risk. It hasn't happened, but maybe weather forecast shows that it might happen and it could be very catastrophic. So it has not happened, but there is that probability that it will happen. That is risk. So now, if it happens, what will be the impacts on our activities as an organization? So that is what we call risk impact. So know that you cannot eliminate risk. So when it comes to risk management, what we are doing is to reduce to a very large extent, to reduce the impact of a risk. So we have different kinds of risk. We have the high risk, we have low risk. Some author will tell you we have medium risk and we have acceptable risk. So high risk has to do with, the risk you are exposed to that is extremely, extremely beyond what you can accommodate. So take, for instance, there is, let's say there is flooding and your system shuts down for a number of days, let's say 4 days, and those 4 days is too much for your organization. If it is 2 hours, it's okay. 1 hour is okay. But now it's going into 4 days. So for your organization, it has taken you beyond limits. So when it is like that, you want to handle it immediately. So that kind of a risk is not the type that you leave for later. Whereas low risk is opposite. It will happen, but the impact on us will not be too serious. It will be very insignificant. So because of that, yes, we can handle it later. Then acceptable risk is, to what extent are you able to accommodate this risk? So there are some risks that they are there and they are there and you are ready to just accept them like that. You are not doing anything about them. So that's like acceptable risk. So there are some risks. For instance, when you leave your house in the morning and you go to work, it's risky, but you are accepting the risk. There is possibility that something bad might happen. Your vehicle could break down. Anything can happen. There could be an accident. It's possible. Still, you get up every morning and go to work. So why? Because that kind of a risk, you can accept it. So, and that's what this diagram here is talking about. Risk can be internal, it can be external. So we have our first lab, and I will want us to quickly look at this lab. Let's talk about the lab. So that is what number? I'm coming, or I will share. I want to see the lab number. I think that's lab 5.1.3. Yes. Risk management. Okay. Okay. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Hello, anybody there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Very good. So, um, have you all come to this lab? And everybody, hello, somebody answering me. You know, when I'm sharing my screen, I can't see you guys.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I want them
Yes,
to
please.
respond.
There are reactions.
Okay, there are reactions. See, you people, you will open your microphone at this point. Just turn on your microphone and let's talk, okay? So because I can see, I'm not seeing your reactions. Okay, so right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So let's go. Where is my screen again? Can you see my screen? Is my screen being shared?
We can still see it.
Funny enough, I'm not seeing it. Okay, so if you can see it, that's okay. So let's go, let's roll. Okay, you can see my screen. I cannot see my screen. That is funny. Okay, an organization's process of identifying and assessing risk is a continuous effort because types of threats change and they never completely disappear. You see what I was saying earlier? Okay, so okay, no, sorry, I didn't say this evening, not in your class. So what here is saying is the process of identifying and assessing risk is continuous. So you will not say, oh, this organization, you've assessed the risk last year and that's it. No. So periodically, you do your assessment and your reevaluation that what you have is still what it should be. So because threat changes, so the risk you are exposed to last year may not be exactly the same this year. So the goal of risk management is to reduce these threats to an acceptable level. There are different levels of risk management. Organizations must properly manage risk to protect information and information system. Risk management also helps to prevent legal actions, interruptions to operation, and safeguards the organization's reputation. So all these things make sense. They are just straightforward. It's telling you why you need to do your risk evaluation or assessment. So, if you
Screen
do
is
that,
off now,
it
ma.
can prevent. Okay, it's off. Okay.
Yes, ma.
So, I think that's my network. Let's go back. Okay, Cyber Chief said a system. You can access your lab on it. It's not a lab that is so technical. So, let's let me reshare. Okay, it should be showing again now. Kindly
Not
confirm
yet
if you
at
can
my
see my
end.
screen. Oh, really? Yeah. It says share screen. So yes, so you can follow from your end. So please, even if you are using your phone, just go to your Neta card and pop it up. I think my network bandwidth now dropped. So it's raining here and there is this loud thunder. In fact, they took off the power now. So please turn it on at your end so that we can move on. So hopefully it gets stronger and I can share it. It's not letting me share now. Okay, can you see it? It says it can share window now. Instructor Monique, can you see
Loading.
anything?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
it's visible
Good.
now.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
ma, we can see it now.
Yes, ma.
Awesome.
It's up now.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the responses. So let's move on. So the objective of this module is, and please just open your own. Let's do it together. As we are doing it here, be doing it on your own end or at your own end. Okay. So what we want to do is 3 objectives. 1, we want to explain We want to explain risk action levels. We want to explain risk management concepts, and we are explaining risk management processes. So, and you can see the requirement there. You can use your PC, which is personal computer, or you can use your mobile device, as long as there is internet access. Because you cannot be in this room without internet access. So internet access is not a problem, except it's raining at your end, just like here. Okay, so the instruction. So who will read the first part of the instruction for us? Who will read? Somebody should just go ahead. Don't worry. I'm not seeing you, so I can't call name. Just start. Anybody? When it says risk management. Okay. So here
Okay,
is talking about. Okay, go ahead, please. The first paragraph.
Is the identification, valuation, and prioritization of risk. Organizations manage risk in one of four ways. Each may be appropriate choice depending on the circumstances and type of risk in question.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's just telling you that, see, as a professional or as professionals, these are the ways you will be managing your risk. So either of these four. So you can avoid the risk. That is, you are not ready to take the risk at all. So, for instance, you don't want the risk of users sharing or misusing password. Then what do? You do something more. So you can implement fingerprint authentication, or according to a class I took last week, somebody recommended facial recognition. So if you are the type that you are in the office and your office policy says don't share your password, but you and your cubicle mates, you are fond of sharing, you trust each other. Now you are on vacation, she needs to do something and say, oh babe, please send me your password, let me quickly do something. So since you know that is possible, to avoid it, then the technical guys will put measure in place that will make it impossible. So even if you send the password, authentication will not be complete without your facial recognition. So you that you send password, come and send a facial recognition now, Abi. So that's what we are talking about. So you can avoid the risk. Then you can reduce it. You can reduce it. You can reduce the risk. So when you reduce it, risk mitigation reduction involve implementing controls that allows the organization to continue to perform an activity while using mechanisms to reduce the risk. So it will not be eliminated, it's there, but you are reducing the risk. So then you have risk transfer. This risk transfer, when you hear or read some from some authors, they will tell you we don't have risk transfer again, which makes so much sense, because in reality, you cannot completely transfer your risk, you share it. So instead of having risk transfer, you can have risk sharing. Please note the two of them. Then you can accept your risk. It was a risk for you to come to this class this evening. What if your instructor does not show? But even though, yes, it's possible your instructor is not there, still you come. Okay? So because you choose to accept the risk, that even if she does not come, I will still go there. So that's what we are talking about when it comes to risk acceptance. Please hold on for me. Hold the line. I will need, let me tell them to give me, to change the power source. If not, this computer will die. Okay, can you hear me? Sorry, that's Nigeria for you.
We can hear you now.
So, okay, thank you.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we've talked about all these risk avoidance, mitigation, transfer or sharing, then risk acceptance. So now for this lab, step 1, we want to manage risk. So in this step, you will describe examples of managing risk associated with specific threat to the organization's information or information system. An organization is regularly required to handle sensitive customer information. The release of this information poses a serious risk to the organization. Who is talking? If you have background noise, please mute your microphone. What steps could the organization implement to eliminate the risk associated with accidental emailing or transferring of this information? So what this is simply talking about is you have an organization that handles sensitive information. And because this organization handles sensitive information, then there is need for caution. So what steps could be taken by this organization to eliminate the risk of accidental emailing or transferring of information? You know, it's possible. You can accidentally transfer information, or you mistakenly, or which is also accidental, transfer or share emails to unauthorized person. That's not your target, but by mistake, maybe your client, your staff did it. So what can we do? That's question 1. So anybody? I don't like it. We are not in my place. Okay. Okay, so any hand, anyone? Okay, Kike Lomo, your hand is up. Go ahead, please.
For my little experience, I think the organization can prevent from the central control system. They can stop outbound sending of mails. Like where I worked before, you can't send mails outside the organization. It's only those in higher level that can send mails outside of the organization, and for them to have it, and the mail has to go through another person too, an assistant. So maybe by doing that, it will prevent the organization from having such problem or such risk.
You see, I tell you, cybersecurity is something we practice. Thank you very much. I'm glad you have that. You see, that's one thing that can be done. It doesn't mean that's all, but that is how they chose to, because they know there could be accidental emailing. And for that, they said, see, there is restriction. So some are not authorized. Staff is not authorized to send email. Maybe when there is no outbound, how will there be mistake now? It is when you have the opportunity to send it outside, that's when you say, oh, sorry, I made mistake, even when it is intentional. And now, when it is to the top management, they know that for you as a boss, you bear more responsibility, so you don't want to mess with it. And do you notice what they did there? Even as a top manager, there is also a check. So somebody else will check. So that shows you need approval from another person before that email would go out. Thank you very much for telling us that. Does anybody has another opinion? Another opinion? Okay. Okay, that's fine. No problem. So now, from my end, the organization can implement a policy prohibiting employees to email or transfer any customer data. Files unable to share. It happens with WhatsApp. Yes. That's what she was talking about earlier, that they make it impossible to share email. This one is not even just files, but a mail entirely. They make it impossible to share a mail entirely. Oh, I'm seeing somebody here. I know I'm owing you. Efe, I got your message. It was a very busy day for me, okay? But I will handle it. I will handle it. It shouldn't have lasted beyond 24 hours. So I'm sorry about that it lasted beyond 24 hours. I will look into it. So that is it. So you want to put policy in place, and that is what this modules 1 and 5 is talking about. Sensitive data can be encrypted. Yes. But don't forget, it's not about it's talking about emailing, accidental emailing. So of course, when you encrypt, as you send it out, if it is to maybe like 5 people you want to send the email to, and you've sent your encryption key, you are sending your encryption key with the email now. So if you accidentally share it to 100 people, the all of 100 will see the encrypted email, but don't forget that you have also sent your encryption key. So you've also given them the key to unencrypt it, or to decrypt it rather. So what here is saying is, please implement policy that will prohibit employees to email or transfer any customer data. The organization could also prevent employees from accessing this information, because what you don't know exists. How do you share it? So that's another thing. So if it is not meant for your eyes, they can put measure in place that you will not see it. The organization could also screen and block all data emailed or transferred from the organization's network, just the way she talked about earlier on, that she wants in an organization that will not even allow the outbound, the email outbound. If it is within the organization, no problem. But for it to go out, it cannot happen. So with that, they can protect it. Thank you very much. Then B question. I hope we are noting it till those of you that have opened your, please be putting down the answer so that you have it later. Big question. The organization has had several issues of employees sharing password or using weak password. Name 2 ways to mitigate this risk. We mentioned it this evening. No, we have mentioned it in this class this evening. The organization, the employees, they have that bad habit. They say don't share your email, but they must share. The one you say people should not do, that's what they do. The one they are supposed to do, they will not do it. So how would you, as a professional, as a cybersecurity professional, how do you manage that? Hands up. Anybody? Multi-factor authentication. Yeah, that's good. So, but are you sure? Because they are the one. Very good. So when you include some multi-factor authentication, that we need the personal data. I mean the what do you call it? Something you are, something I am. You said?
Biometrics.
Yes. So when it includes, when the multi-factor authentication includes biometrics, something you are or something I am. So when it includes it, then it can mitigate it. That's one. What other thing? So that's a strong one. Don't you think that very strong policy that comes with punishment in some cases can work too? So when the policy is there, the guideline is there, that, oh, you are violating the rule of the organization. If you do this, this will be the consequence, That's one thing. That's another thing that can help. Then you can put policy of strong password. So, but I mean, I think that first one we talked about, multi-factor authentication using biometrics will be a perfect one. Okay, so let's go to step 2. We've treated that. So who sees step 2? Who is reading for us? Access control, yes. Yes, access control. Who is reading step 2 for us? Hello?
Can I go?
Sharifa?
Yeah, can I read it out?
Yeah, somebody said there is still one question. Which is that?
I think it's exploring.
Okay, give 2 examples of an organization transferring risk. Okay? Yes, that's true. And it's a very good one. So, how can the organization transfer risk? Or how can they share risk? They want us to have 2 examples.
Ma,
Yes, please.
through insurance, because I know that most companies, they insure their properties because of risk, fire risk, accidental risk, like that. So
Very
even
good. That's the number one thing. When you are, in fact, when you see any question in exam and you see insurance, just know that it's risk transfer or risk sharing. So that's number one way that they can transfer risk or share risk. Which other way?
By hiring a contractor to deal with a particular type of threat.
Very good. So now when they hire, I love that, hiring a third party. So when the third party comes now, what should be included that will make sure that, see, these people, you are the one that you carry this risk, it's not us, it's on your head. There is something, there is a document that must be signed. Do we know?
Yeah, like an agreement.
Yes, an agreement. There is a name the agreement bears. I know you all know it. Your mind is not going there. Okay, Monisade.
The SLA.
Exactly. SLA. SLA, SLA. I call it SLA. Service level agreement.
SLA?
Yes. Okay. SLA. Service level agreements. So, yes. So when they sign service level agreements, so they know they bear the responsibility. So with that, when it happens, they know that, oh, when this problem comes up, oh, you are coming. And you will see it. You will see it in some cases. Like if you are ever close to all these telecommunication masts. So sometimes you may be wondering, you see people going into the mast area for maintenance. But sometimes it's not even the service providers that are doing the maintenance. Somebody may be coming to supply diesel, another one may be the one to do engine oil, another one may be the one to do maintenance of the infrastructure and all and all and all. Why? They are putting it on their edge. It's not that they cannot send somebody from the main headquarters. Oh yeah, you come and sit down here. But they will give it to the third party because they don't want to 100% bear responsibility when things goes wrong. So if it comes to the third party now, if it is in the hand of the third party, then you now guide it. You guide it with all your life because if anything goes wrong, you don't enter busy. So that is what he's talking about. Thank you very much for taking us back to that place. Excellent. So let's move on, guys. Somebody is saying something? Paul.
No, I am not. I just observed the whole thing, and I'm good with it.
Awesome. Awesome. So please.
Okay, ma. I have something like a contribution. I don't know. It's an organization that
You are sounding far. Can you be close to your microphone, please?
change my mic. Okay, let me change mic.
You said?
Am I audible, ma?
Yes, I can hear you. It's still a bit far.
The mic
But it's
has some
okay. Go
issue.
ahead.
Okay, ma. So I was thinking of an organization hosting
Please
services
hold on.
in the
Hold on.
cloud.
Let me pick my earpiece. I'm having difficulty hearing you. Ken. Just hold on. Don't worry. I'll use my earpiece.
I've just changed my mic. Is it better now, ma?
It's better.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking of cloud services, organizations that use the cloud to provide their services. Could that be in the category of risk transfer, risk sharing?
It depends on the agreement you have with your service provider, with your cloud service provider. Then it depends on what kind of services they are rendering. So
Okay, ma'am.
So the type of services they are rendering determines to what extent you are transferring risk. Because in some cases, and it depends on what risk you are managing. So the fact that you are using a service provider doesn't mean that that service provider is taking up all your risk. Like if a service provider is just to provide you software as a service, okay, so they are providing software and they are giving you software. Let's say email, for instance. In this case, they are giving you email. So if the parts of the email, if it is your responsibility to take care of security, so then it would not be covering what we are dealing with here. Because what we are talking about here is accidental emailing. So if it is not part of your agreement, and it will be somehow, if security is not part of it, then in case anything happens to your security, then you bear the responsibility. And that's why one of the best way to do it is insurance. So even when there are breaches, because the fact that you give it to a service provider, a cloud service provider, does not mean that you will not suffer a breach. There is no guarantee. In fact, their attack might result in your own attack. They might not even be targeting you. Just like which of them suffered that problem? Was it last week? No, this week. AWS, some services were down worldwide. So because you are not the attack, you are not the one they are after. But as they are after the big guy, as they are coming down, you are also going down with them. So it's a bit technical. So, but when you are handling it, we just want to have an idea of what you can do. And those are the two things that are most common or that you can think about. So when you critically analyze, and that's why we are talking about when it comes to risk management, you want to identify your risk one, then you want to evaluate it, you want to assess it. So what is your risk like? Who is involved? If you need to either accept the risk, mitigate it, or transfer it. So who will be involved? What will you be doing to assist you to manage it? Are we clear on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So, good. So please don't off your microphone. Oh yeah, read for us. Step 2. Please, let's make it so. I want us to, if possible, treat all the 3 labs tonight.
Okay, step 2, explore risk levels. An organization's process of identifying and assessing risk is a continuous effort because types of threats change and they never completely disappear. The goal of risk management is to reduce these threats to an acceptable level. Perform an internet search using the following terms: negligence, due care, and due diligence to answer the following questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So that paragraph is pretty straightforward. So does anybody have any issue with it? Any problem? He's saying risk management is continuous. Nobody can argue that. So the moment you don't enter that level of risk management, you are going with it. So that's what he's saying. So it's not a matter of once assessed, it's always assessed. Once identified, always identified. No, that is not what we are talking about here. So now it says, what is negligence? Give an example of the consequences of negligence. Anybody who has found it and they said we can do, so you don't have to cram it. So they said we can do research. I told anybody in GRC 60, any GRC 60 learner, I gave them, okay? Who is speaking?
Kikelomo. Negligence, in terms of legal, in terms of risk, is the breach of a duty of care, which results in damage. Is the breach of a duty of care, which results in damage.
You people are looking at her. You won't clap for her.
Then
are you not impressed? Are you not impressed with that definition? Or do you disagree? Okay, go ahead. You are still saying something.
Then the consequence, one of the consequences of negligence is legal liability. Because
exactly.
if, yes.
Oh, do I still have Kikelomo? We can't hear you.
Okay, yes. Legal liability, because if they fail in carrying out their due diligence in their work and in carrying out their duty of care or their duty care. For instance, let's look at the mask. If they don't take care of the mask, and there is, we call it base transition station, where you see drums on those masks, base transmission stations, when they are not well taken care of, and there is a disruption in internet network, in calls and all of that, those people will be sued because they have made the company to lose money, and they make money in seconds. especially the telecommunication companies. They make money in seconds, and before they can rectify most of the problems in the base transmission stations, it takes them at least 12 hours. That's why most times they'll say, oh, MTN has not been functioning well since morning, that they just restored their network this evening. So, because that's what usually happens. But those people don't just let it go like that, because they know that they must they must fill the tanks, the oil tanks. They must make sure that the coolers are functioning. And there's always a spare cooler, because most of the coolants, they used to run out of power on time. You know, in technological world, what powers a laptop? The heat suppressants is what enables the laptop to still remain at a normal temperature. If not for the coolant, it will become very hot, and it might even explode. So
yes, thank you. So another opinion, anything, Harry? If you won't finish us with cloud, thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's quite impressive. See, tech is sweet. Oh, tech is very beautiful. Tech is sweet. When they are explaining things to you, and it will be making sense. It will be making sense. So, and that's why when you know your rights, when you know your rights, you will go for it. Now, because those ones that are supplying those services, you see, they are depending on them. And when they fail in their cost of service, it costs them. So with that, they sue. They collect their money from them. But you now, you have your small business and you have contract with MTN, and MTN goes down for 12 hours. And you say, God of justice will God of justice will collect my money from MTN. These people are wicked. And you just leave it like that. See, you are the one losing money. Because if they were in your shoe, they will not spare them. I didn't say you should go and fight your service provider. For me, I'm telling you the right thing. So that is it. So negligence, like she said, has to do with no actions or controls are taken, to lower your risk. So you just leave it. Don't forget, we say you can't eliminate risk. But this one now, you don't even take any action. You just leave it.
918.
You said? Okay, I thought she was saying. So when you leave it, then you make the risk very high. And when something goes wrong, whatever happens, the consequences, the problem are also high in nature. So it's talking about an example. She had given an example. And she also mentioned that yes, it could lead to like charges. In some cases, it could even be criminal charges. It could be civil. So it depends on what the agreement is like and what is the nature of this negligence like. So please, dear cybersecurity professional, don't be negligent. Do what you are supposed to do when you are supposed to do it. Please don't be negligent. Thank you very much. Let's move on. I hope nobody has questions. Please, in case you have questions, ask. So what about due care, due diligence and due care? Who want to explain to us? By now, I expect as we are doing negligence, somebody else is checking. You check online, they say you should research. They didn't say cram it. You don't have to be a professor or a lawyer to explain to us. You people have ChatGPT, you have Google. Ask, Google it. Abi? Anybody? Nobody.
Can I say
Okay,
something?
Paul. Yes,
Okay,
please.
So the question here is
In case you are speaking, I can't hear you. Is it from my end? Anybody, can you hear him? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear him.
No, it's not audible.
It's like it's only me and you. People are giving thumbs up. If he said you can hear him. Okay. If Monique cannot hear you, Paul. Okay, Victor can't hear you either. Paul, are you speaking? Or your network don't follow rain? Okay, Sharifat, you can't hear me or you can't hear Paul. Who is it that you can't hear? Okay, Paul, you are
I
coming
can't
up.
hear him.
Okay, good. So he's trying to talk. I think it's his network.
can you hear
Okay,
me now?
yes, loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Do you care? It means
Oi, Marina. Dala?
Okay, we can't hear Paul. I think it's network problem. So, does anybody else want to try?
Can I try, please?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Due care involves taking steps.
Sulaim bin Azan. Can you
Sorry,
please
ma.
mute your mic? Thank you. All right, Tomiwa, go ahead, please.
Okay, due care involves taking steps to avoid negative outcomes. While due diligence focuses on performing in-depth research to understand the ins and outs of a solution or deal before committing to it. So, for example, for the due care, maybe you want to take like a mortgage, which possibly might take time. You will just to ensure that what the mortgage you're going to take is going to help you and not harm you. That it won't it won't be a detriment to your financial future. Why the due diligence is about ensuring that you understand the terms, you fully understand the terms and conditions of the contract that you are signing. That's the legal ramifications, the zoning issues, and all other things that might affect you in the contract. That's my own understanding.
This class no book. You are no book. Well done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's a good one. Anybody else? Anybody else want to try? Yeah. I mean, you will notice they sound alike, you know, but they are not the same. But as the name implies, you can, to some extent tell that, oh, this is what it's talking about. When you are going and they say, oh, be careful. You are taking care, due care. You are taking that steps. You should to lower your risk. You are being careful. It's not that you will not take the risk. It's not that risk will not be there, but you are trying to minimize the risk you are exposed to. Whereas due diligence, is those steps you take. Like he was saying, if it were due diligence, you are talking about mortgage, it's told you, oh, this thing, the percentage is good, blah, blah, blah. You will not just jump at it because a realtor has told you, oh, the percentage is good. And you will now say, oh yeah, bring a check, let me sign. No, you will carry out your due diligence. You investigate further. Oh, would this be okay for your organization? Is this percentage good? What will be the duration? How long will this mortgage be for? Do you have available alternative options? Those are the things when it comes to due diligence. Thank you. So let's go to part 2, risk management concepts. Risk management concepts. So this part is telling us some of the terms we use, some of the concepts. Asset is not a big deal to you guys, anything of value to an organization. And please, at this point, I will, permit me to emphasize that don't say, oh, what is asset? When I was in Coca-Cola, these are our assets. You are now in Pepsi, expecting the same assets. Assets of Coca-Cola to be that of Pepsi. Among their assets, they linked one tiny thing. They list it, and you are like, you people are stupid. What's this? We were not exposed to this kind of asset when I was in Coca-Cola, and you refuse to accept. You won't do it again. So that is it. So whatever is the assets of the organization, as long as it's valuable to them, please, it must be valuable to you too. So then you have threats. They are malicious acts, that can compromise your network or your system. So, and don't forget that sometimes threats could be unintentional. Imagine your, what's it called? Your cleaner. After everybody had gone home, your cleaner went to go and clean. And she's keep cleaning. She's cleaning your server room. And because she wanted to vacuum, she unplugged something and she plugged her vacuum cleaner. And after plugging her vacuum cleaner, she forgot to plug that in back. And you all got to work the following day, and it's like, what happened? Who is there? Who did this? So that is unintentional threat. So it happened, but you didn't know. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Paul, we saw your message. So then there could be natural disaster. Natural disaster is a threat, but it's not malicious. It's unintentional. You are not the one that caused it. You could have system failure and things like that. Then we have vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities are weakness in your system. Impacts. Risk impact is the damage incurred by an event which causes loss of an asset or disruption of services, like we mentioned earlier. Risk is the probability of loss due to a threat to an organization's assets. So that's risk. Then you have countermeasure. Countermeasures are an action or device or technique that reduces a threat or a vulnerability by eliminating or preventing it. That is countermeasure. What you do in opposite of what was to happen. So you know there might be thefts. So countermeasure might be putting up CCTV camera, you know, using lab chain and things like that. Then you have the risk assessment. We've mentioned risk assessment. What happens when you are conducting risk assessment? So now we have a case study. Who will read this case study for us? Who reads the case study? Anybody? I want to make I call name. Angela. Angela, you are reading for us. Angela Odewusi. Sharifa, read for us. You see, that's how to know those that are in class and those that have gone to bed. Margaret, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Awesome. Can you read, please?
Okay. A business manages a customer database that tracks online purchases of the products. These purchases are made with PayPal accounts or credit cards. The database server has several vulnerabilities. The database is on a server in the server room at the company headquarters. The server costs $25,000. The database consists of all 40,000 customers and over 1.5 million transactions. The server records over 120 transactions per day, generating over $25,000 per day in sales. The database is backed up daily at 2 a.m. All orders are tracked and logged on separate systems in case of a server failure. This process can take up to 50 person-hours of entry to manually process every day.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So the question, name at least security staff should analyze. Two types. So what are the two types of vulnerability that will happen here in this scenario? Please give me a moment. Give me a moment, guys. I'll be back. Please raise up your hand though if you want to answer. Raise up your hand. I can see everybody now. Ah, nobody is raising up their hand. Do we want to leave it to go and do it later? Give me a thumbs up. Do you want to do it later or you want us to do it here? If you want us to treat it now, give me a thumbs up. If you want to do it later, thumbs down. Lisa said we should do it now. Emmanuel. Okay, David, your hand is up. Your screen is freeze on step 1. Yes, because we expect you to follow it in your own copy. Now, if you look at this case study, don't you think their vulnerability might involve hardware failure?
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
So they can have problem with hardware. Then they can suffer attack. Don't you think so? Because the database server handles transactions, money-related transactions. And I mean, this is a favorite for hackers. Anything money, they are there. So there might be attack from hackers. Then what else? What do we have? The server costs 25,000. The database consists of 40,000 customers and over 1.5 transactions. The server record over 120 transactions per day, generating over 25K per day in sales. All others are also tracked and logged on separate system in place of the server spread. The process can take up to 50%, 50% per hour of entry to ensure manually proceed every day. So, I mean, there could be misconfiguration. Yes, configuration vulnerability. That's there could be misconfiguration. Then there could be attack too. maybe malware or virus. That could be virus attack and all. Describe possible threats to the server based on the vulnerabilities you identify. So, what threats to the server do we notice, or can we identify based on what we have mentioned? You know, we said there could be what's it called now? Misconfiguration, hardware or software misconfiguration. So how does that affect them? Describe possible threats to those ones we've mentioned there. Our road still foul. Anybody? Okay, we'll go and do it home. We'll do it at home. System failure. Yes. Yes. So because when there is misconfiguration, I mean, how does your system so when there is misconfiguration, then your system might not work as it should, and there might be failure. You can even have a downtime. So please try and complete this, because we are using almost, when did we start? 8. So 2 hours is almost gone. So let's quickly check the other. So, but do you understand? Do you understand? You see, guys, at this point, you don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to crack your brain. Just copy and paste I mean, I'm not saying don't think, but when you think and nothing is coming up, please go and do research. Take it to Uncle Charts. It's called GTP for some reason. Nobody will hold you for it. Do it and do your finish your, what is it called, your labs. So some of us, because we don't know what to put in those boxes, we just left it there. So you don't have to, just copy the question and check in the context of those paragraphs. Those paragraphs are very essential for you. So you want to consider the context. In the context of those instructions, then what do you get? Do we all agree? Do we agree we will finish it up? Good. Somebody is showing thumbs up. Lisa is showing thumbs up. What of others? Victor too. Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you. So let's go to the second. Lab. We have 5.1352. Risk analysis. Who is reading for us the background scenario? Sorry, I'm shuffling between tabs. Okay, so who is reading?
Let me read now.
Please, thank you.
Okay. A risk analysis determines possible vulnerabilities and threats, their likelihood and consequences, and the tolerances for such events. The results of this process may be expressed by using a quantitative method or a qualitative method. Quantitative risk analysis involves calculations to assign a value to a potential vulnerability or threat. This option works best when dealing with tangible assets such as buildings, computers, or inventory. Qualitative risk analysis assigns a level used to prioritize potential risk so organizations can take a logical approach to address the most critical threats. This method works best for intangible assets such as intellectual property, company reputation, or account receivable.
Thank you. We don't hear. So it's talking about the background of this. So now you can tell during the course of your course, you see the two types, the two methods we use in calculating risk. So it's either quantitative or qualitative. So when it is quantitative, you are talking about figures, so you will be doing some calculations. So meanwhile, quantitative involves calculations, then qualitative involves analysis assigns a level used to prioritize potential risks. So organization can take a logical approach to address the most critical threats. Yeah, so here we can use, even in quantitative, we can use history or experience in our analysis. What has happened before? How was it handled? What is the extent of the damage? Like, for instance, you are new, you just took yourself to a new environment, and now the environment will have flooding. So you've not been there before, but you can, predict to some extent to what extent you are exposed to when it comes to risk. So you want to ask, this flooding, when it will happen, how much damage is experienced? Like if you are along that route of where the water will pass, maybe the one coming from Lake Chad. So you can say, what is the water level when it is at the maximum? Then you can predict your risk. If it is the one coming from Ogun Dam, you do the same. You ask your neighbor or investigate. So what will be the impact, and you can calculate. So basically, that is what it's talking about when it comes to calculating risk. So you want to put some value on it, either tangible or intangible. So quantitative risk. Quantitative risk analysis is the process of objectively determining the impact of an event by using metrics, that is numbers and models. A quantitative analysis relies on historical information and trends to predict future performance, just like I just explained. The results of the analysis is a value. Calculating the annualized loss expectancy is a common method to estimate the decrease in value or capacity of an asset after an adverse event occurs. So then it's talking about the calculation, the initial cost of assets, the organizational value, the public value, and things like that. So from the scenario about, it wants you to identify the total assets of the server. So what is the total asset? What is the intangible cost? I mean, why is the intangible cost so high? Is your figure realistic? You know, these things you have to get, you know, after doing your calculation. Then, if you are calculating the exposure factor, so exposure factor is expressed as a percentage loss of an asset if a specific threat or vulnerability is realized. The exposure factor is a subjective value. If the asset is completely lost, the exposure value would be 100% or 1. The exposure factor could be a fraction of the value, such as, please hold on, class. We are changing power source. All right. Sorry about that. So we said the exposure factor could be a fraction of the value, such as 40% or 0.4, for example. So given an example, what is the impact of the server if the server room floods and the cost to restore the server is $30,000? So your restoration cost, asset is $135,000, restoration cost is $30. So what will be your exposure value? Anybody? Anybody? What will be the exposure value? Your asset is 135, restoration is 30. So what will be your year? $22. 22 what? 22% is right. So because your exposure value will be $30,000 over 135,000. So you just divide it to give you $22. So just like that, you can also calculate Step 3, want you to calculate the SLE. So single loss expectancy. Excuse me. So in the scenario above, so let's reach. I want to, okay. So for example, a denial of service attack is estimated to have a 20% impact or exposure factor. This will mean that SLE is 135,000 times 0.2, which is 20%. And what does that give you? When you do the arithmetic, it gives you $27,000. So the SLE, if a hard drive or storage unit failure occurs where the same asset value is estimated at $135,000, this type of loss would result in an exposure factor of 0.5. Now calculate the SLE. What did you get for those that have done it? What did you get in your SLE? What is your SLE? What did you get? Those that have done it, your SLE. Your SLE is simple. Your assets value multiply by exposure factor. So that will give you SLE. So, and here, okay, somebody said 135. Oh. So if your exposure value is 0.5, Kita, you try it 135, 65,700. I mean 67,500. That's correct. That's correct. Because it's simply 135 multiplied by 0.5. So, but if your SLE is having an exposure greater than that, let's say 75%. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you got it now. So if your EF, which is expected exposure value, now rose to 75%, so it's simple. You just use it to multiply each other. So and that's what you have here. If you go through it, you have any challenge, because for some of us, that's those days when they were sharing mathematics, we were not at home. The angel that shared mathematics, when they share it, you were not at home like me. So please, if you get confused, try and ask on the group. So let's see, which other one can we try? Okay, let's try ARO, analyze rate of occurrence. Something happen. How do we analyze this occurrence? Who is reading for us? Who wants to help us?
Hello, ma.
Go ahead.
The annualized rate of occurrence, ARO, is a measure of how often an event occurs in a single year. ARO is always expressed in an annual rating, even if an incident occurs and is recorded in other time measures. In our example, the customer database server is impacted by DOS or DDoS attack every 120 days or 4 months on average. This means the event will occur 3 times in a calendar year on average. So the DOS/DDoS attack has an ARO of 3. In this scenario, calculate the ARO of a ransomware attack on the business customer database server. On average, the server experiences a ransomware attacks every 24 months of 2 years or 2 years.
Thank you. So now,
Yeah.
thank you. So it's saying that what is the ARO of a ransomware attack on the customer database server? The scenario. On the average, the server experiences a ransomware attack ransomware attack every 24 months. So now, what would the ARO be? So what will be your annualized rate of occurrence for this scenario? Anybody?
It will be number of months divided by number of years, which we can state to be, yeah.
Go ahead, give us the figure. Go ahead, please. Perfect. So it's just 12, which is the number of months you have per annum. And don't forget, yes, you are calculating annualized rate of occurrence. So they said this thing happens every 24 months. So your ARO would be the number of months, which is 12 months, divided by 24. So that's it. You also have the ALE. So you have the ALE. So all you just need is, I will recommend you writing out these things. If you are watching them, most especially if you are seeing them for the first time, if you are looking at them on your module, I will tell you from experience, you may know book more than me, and that's okay. But when you are on that module, everything will look good. Let you be without the module. That's when you will know what's up. So you can write it out somewhere, the full meaning of these acronyms, what they do, and the formula. Each of them has a formula that we follow to calculate. Are we clear? Are we clear on that? So then we have the qualitative risk analysis. Very good. Thank you. So we have the qualitative. So it's not about number. Sorry, I'm running between multiple. Okay, so so here you can see, I will say please catch up with qualitative. Qualitative is not, it doesn't have plenty numbers. So it's just stories, explanation, you know. So that's what we have. And you have example in step 6. So you have the, excuse me, you have the table. So you have the table to fill. And you can do that at your leisure. So we have tutorials, ABC component laptops, and this is just to encourage our people. So please, let's fill in those table. If you run into any challenge, please don't hesitate to check. Don't hesitate to check. So lastly, let's check modules. Looking for what I used to save it to. I love brown the green. Let's make this one. Sorry, I have to go. Please give me a moment. I'll come. This is risk analysis. Security control. No. Okay, so that's 5.3. 5.3. So it's security control implementation parts. Ooh, it's not easy. Sorry, don't worry, we are wrapping up now. This one is very straightforward. I will just explain if you want to, you know, do justice to it. Just find time and you'll be able to finish it. Okay. Let's do it. Lab security. Sure. So who reads that background for us? Anybody? Who is reading for us?
Go ahead, Mom.
Okay, please. Thank you. Are we here? Let me see. Do I still have this class? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Abi all of us don't go to bed. Okay, thank you. So please, let's think. So please read those paragraphs. Background scenario.
In this lab, you recommend security controls based on the needs of the Greenville public school system. The school system consists of one high school, one middle school, and 3 elementary schools. The district serves about 2,500 students, has a staff of 210 teachers, 220 administrators and support staff, and 25 maintenance staff. The internet point of presence and data center is housed in the high school, which also houses the administrative offices. The schools are interconnected to the high school over a redundant fiber optic network. The data center houses all of the required servers in one location. Your company has been hired to analyze the physical security and cybersecurity of the Greenville school system. An incident recently occurred in which a high school student obtained a teacher's credentials and logged into the administrative network. The student altered his grades, deactivated CCTV cameras, and obtained phone numbers for students. The director of security for the district recently left her job and the position had not been filled. Security had been implemented by a number of consultants and employees and had not been well documented. Your task is to propose security controls that should be implemented and analyze the current system to see if it utilizes those controls. The superintendent and school board have compiled the following list of security concerns we use as a starting point for your analysis. A wide range of computers with aging hardware and software are located haphazardly throughout the district, many in classrooms and learning labs, Some school districts nationally have faced lawsuits due to loss of parental information because of data breaches. Another school district in the state had to shut down until systems were restored after a ransomware attack encrypted data held on a number of computers in the district network. Academic records have been accessed and altered by students. A parent who was not authorized to see his child gain access to an after-school activity on school grounds that the child attended. The library server in the data center had been unplugged by cleaning staff in the past. Student information was disclosed by an administrative employee in response to a malicious email. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So as usual, just make sure your devices is connected to the internet and we are good. So, one, you will review security control. That's part one. So you want to review the definition of the security control types and the function. So then now you have security types, then you have the functions. They are always please hold on. So sorry, can anybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry. When we change power, I didn't know that I did not turn on the stabilizer. So the power went off on that device. Okay, so here we have security controls. So we have security controls functions or functionality. And here, please don't be dogmatic. When we are talking about security control types and functions, some authors will put them together. They will just call all of them security control types, and you will have like 9 of them. So if you see it, if it's not differentiated like this, please, it's still okay. So now they want you to to complete the grid here. So, and you have it, you have the physical control, the technical control, the administrative control. And okay. So then you have preventative, detective, corrective. So you just have to fill in the spaces. Then why are preventive physical control important in schools? So you can research that. Of course, one of the reasons I have here is that they protect the students from physical damage. And when it comes to network and computer equipment, physical security control can also help in mitigating thefts. So this one has nothing so much. So what preventive administrative control are most effective against social engineering, including vectors that spread ransomware? Okay, let's discuss this. What will be your answer? What preventive administrative control are most effective against social engineering, including vectors that spread ransomware? Preventive. Anybody? Okay, Kikelomo, is it your previous hand or the new one? Anybody? One of the things you can do is what you are doing this month too.
Awareness.
Exactly. So because, you are talking about preventive control. And one of the best preventive control you can do for your user is awareness. So just give them the training. Give them training. Because when you train them on what to do, what to avoid, then it prevents social engineering. So then what is essential to preventing lasting damage from ransomware attack while saving money on ransomware payments of restoration of data? Anybody? What is essential to preventing lasting damage from ransomware attack while saving money on ransomware payment of restoration of data?
I believe keeping the system updated.
Come again.
Keeping the system updated, like patches up to date.
Yeah.
I think
Prevent ransomware attack. Yeah. So why will you? Sorry, we will come back to you, Victor. Why will you say updates and patches will prevent ransomware attack?
Because I believe I think why we update our system is possibly they've discovered a vulnerability in the system. So having it updated, it possibly creates a tight protective measure against the system. I don't know, it's just my own ideology that I feel that's the need for us to always update our system. So it makes it less vulnerable to attacks like this.
Very good. Because will the attacker just jump and enter your system or your network? It needs an entry, it needs a vulnerability to amplify. And if it's coming by leveraging on the vulnerability in the software, so you will be, you know, you will fall for it. So, and it does not matter what name they call it. So far you fall, you follow. Okay, so Victor, can we hear you now?
Come on, so I suggested having regular backups.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Okay, I mean regular data backup.
Very good, very good. And you see, this is one of the most important things you can do to combat ransomware attack. I will tell my clients, don't pay a ransomware attacker, because once you pay him, he's coming back. You know, some of them are. You know, I just assume he will. So they will just be milking you. But if you have backup and ransomware attack, you know, was about to happen, it will just be using that. You are the one who be wasting your time. So because even if he encrypts your main data, you have several backup. And don't do one backup. Don't back up using the same machine. So that is it. Backup, yeah, it's part of what I have here. A comprehensive program of a reliable data backup will be very helpful, encouraging or compelling staff to save their work on network services rather than locally, will also help prevent data loss. Compelling staff to network rather than locally will also help preventing data loss. All right. Do we have any question? We've run through them. Of course, there are some you have to just fill in by yourself. And if you run into any challenge, like I said, please feel free to mention it on the group. That group is meant for your conversation. So please. And on this note, we'll be drawing the curtain. Nobody is raising up their hand. Everything is clear. Hey, these my people know who go. Okay, somebody was talking.
Hello, ma. Hello, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Julius.
Yes, ma. Ma, I have a little issues regarding my work. The text we're told to do, like the labs that I've been doing. I dropped a message in the group stating that whenever I fill in my labs and I go, there's no place for submitting on that lab part. But when I go back, everything I put there we go off. So although I dropped a message in the group, a lot of people were suggesting that I download it, then fill it normally and save. That I will now upload it. I didn't even get where to even upload it, even if I say I want to save it down. Yes. And I've really been doing a lot of labs. I've not been saved. Yes.
So,
yes,
like they said, those labs are meant for your consumption. For this course, we are not marking the labs. So we trust that you are old enough to do the needful. We trust that. So we don't have to say, okay, come and show us evidence that you did the labs. So like they said, download it, do it manually. You will notice all these ones I was sharing, my own is on my machine, no longer in the cloud. So because when it's there, because they don't give you storage inside your module, even when you fill it now, you are coming back to come and fill. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I understand, ma'am.
Good. So
So but we
that's
should just focus on, then we should ensure that we do all the exams after each of the modules and the final exam.
come again.
So we should ensure that we do all the exams at the end of the module and also the final exams. Hello, ma'am,
Did
can
I
you hear
get
me?
the last thing you said? Sorry, I missed that.
I said so. We should ensure that we do all the exams at the end of each of the modules and the last exams, as in there's a particular exam, maybe as after module 5.
Yes, endpoint exam. You have to do your endpoint exam, then you
Yes, ma'am.
complete module 6, and you now finally write your exam.
Okay, ma'am. All right, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Well done. Thank you. Any other question? Any other question?
Sorry, ma, can I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Uh, okay, I saw something. It's just out of curiosity. You posted something concerning Real Madrid partner with Cisco, and you related it with this course. I don't know if you can share some insights on what that means.
Yeah, what is happening is Real Madrid is partnering with Cisco. So, and you know what that means with partnership. So they are sponsoring that Learn-A-Thorn. So they are sponsoring that Learn-A-Thorn. So what that means is Cisco is rolling out the Learn-A-Thorn. So we will be involved as academies. We will be involved. They are inviting academies across the globe, because it's not just a Learn-A-Thorn for the country, it's a global Learn-A-Thorn. So you will come, when you enroll, you'll be given your course, and we run it for 3 months. So that lasts 3 months. This one you are doing is for 6 months, 6 weeks. So, but because we didn't start on time, and that's why we are putting fire on you. And I appreciate the fact that, yes, many of you can stick up until now, and you can, eventually write the exam. So, but for that one, it's going to start in January. I've forgotten what date in January, but it will start, I think, first week, if not second week of January. I'm not so sure again, but I know it's January it's starting. So, and it will run for 3 months. Are we good?
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So our community will be participating. So from next month, from November 1st, we should have the link. We should have the link to the form for enrollment. Show you one. Sorry, somebody said something.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to check the chat. Okay. We don't have a question. All right. Would there be any other question, guys? Question? Okay. So in the absence of no further question or any further questions, let's call it a wrap now. It's been a long evening. So thank you very
Thank
much
you, ma'am.
once again for coming. It's a
I'm very
pleasure to
grateful. We are very grateful. I'm very grateful, ma'am.
We thank God. Thank God. Thank you for your participation. So
It's my pleasure.
You said?
I said it's my pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, ma'am.
I know we are now holding. We are holding you 3 recordings now. We have
Yes,
2
ma'am.
already on the channel, on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Hopefully before night, it takes time to upload. That's why I'm just a little bit lazy with it. But hopefully, before bed, I will just set up the module 3 so that it can then you can have it.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night, Ma. Thank you.
Thank God. Thank God. Thank you too. Okay. Aderomu, thank you. Good night. Instructor Moni, thank you. Well done. Instructor Moni, are you still there? Hmm. Okay. Tomiwa. Tomiwa, the host is with you now. Can you give it to me? Reassign the host back to me, please. Hello, Tomiwa, can you hear me? Oh, Tomiwa don't come out to. Okay, please, the rest of us, let's leave the room so because the recording is going on until they end the meeting. It will not stop the recording.